Domonique Foxworth every week. Unique perspective. What do we have this week?
So this week we're focusing on the upcoming coaching search, and I think that Marvin Lewis should be at the top of everyone's list. I mentioned it last season when we were looking for head coaches. Marvin Lewis should be at the top of everyone's list, and he should be someone who's getting interviews and someone who should be getting a job in the league. And everyone pushed back. They pointed out how he couldn't win any of the 7 playoff games that he got the Bengals to. But the thing that people don't understand is how much of an accomplishment it was for him to even make the Bengals respectable in that very tough division. So Marvin Lewis got there and he improved. Let me look up these numbers that some of our researchers sent to us or sent to me. He improved the Bengals in win percentage by 21%. That's outrageous. If you look at what Bill Belichick did, he improved based on the 10 years prior to Bill Belichick getting there, and when Bill Belichick was there, he improved the Patriots by 30%. And Harbaugh did the Ravens by 7%. Tomlin, 6% for the Steelers, and Pete Carroll, 11% for the Seahawks, and 8% improvement for Andy Reid and the Chiefs. So Marvin Lewis's value can be easily measured and understood. And I know that we would have liked to see him win more playoff games, but I don't think that is the complete measure of what he accomplished at an organization that is notorious for being cheap and not supporting the players and the coaches in the way that they should. So I think Marvin Lewis, people should be looking at Marvin Lewis like a gem, a possibility to change your organization and improve your winning percentage by 21% and get you to the playoffs. That is outstanding. I don't think we appreciate how good a job Marvin Lewis did in Cincinnati.
Oh, I agree. In fact, it's a perfect example of how you change the the intonation of your voice, and it changes everything. Instead of saying, pardon me, that he was 0-7 in the playoffs, you say he got the Bengals to the playoffs 7 different times.
Zero times before that. The 10 years prior, 0.
Schefter, I heard his name a lot yesterday. What are we hearing about the possibility of Marvin Lewis being back in the mix when that season starts in about a month?
Well, I think people recognize the job that he did do in Cincinnati, and that is the glass half full, glass half empty argument. And I think teams look at it as the glass being half full. They recognize what he did for the Bengals organization. And there are going to be the usual 6, 7, 8 openings this year for head coaches. Why would somebody not take a look at somebody as experienced and as accomplished as Marvin Lewis?
Yeah, the trend has been these hot young offensive coordinators, and almost without fail, that hasn't really worked so far. Lewis, Riddick, what's your perspective?
Yeah, look, I think it's always important and it's necessary and it's critical that you apply context when you're talking about people in these kinds of roles. And with Marvin, the context needs to be the parameters with which he was being, asked to work in Cincinnati. And he was basically running a bare bones operation where not only was he the head coach, he was also the general manager for all intents and purposes. He was the scouting department. His coaching staff was the scouting department for all intents and purposes. Didn't have the same kind of facilities and same kind of amenities to offer unrestricted free agents in terms of when that part of the player acquisition process was being undertaken. So he was working with one hand tied behind his back, and he still showed that he is credible, he's competent, and he can positively impact people, which are the 3 things you better be looking for when you're talking about head coaches, and he's got all 3 of those.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.